Hey there everybody, Board Bob here. We're back with Factorio Modded, and as I said in the last video, we are going to start building rail systems. So we've gotten pretty much everything we wanted to get done. As you can see, the robots are still working on the concrete, but they are definitely getting there. It's getting filled in. Um, Over here, you can see we're really starting to suck down the ore because we got a lot of stuff building and what have you. So the time has come to really start branching out and grabbing ore from other places. And like I had said before, we're not going to bring ore back from all these other ones. We're going to go out and we're going to smelt it on site, and we're going to bring back plates because it's ratio wise of room, it's much better. So we're going to start bringing back plates. So the first thing we need to do is we need to run rail system through the base from here over to here, because we're going to go up after this 10 million up here. Now there is 13 million up here, but we're going to go after that 10 million first. It's close, it's convenient. I went ahead and I killed some biters and cleared some biters out. We're going to go up and get this. So what we need to do is we're going to need to run this rail system through our base. Now, like I said, running it through the base, I don't want to take up as much room as what this is going to take up. We don't need the walls, we don't need the lasers, and we kind of don't need the solar panels either, because all of this stuff is just kind of extra. And since we're out here moving from base to base, we've got the room for it, but here within our base we don't have the room for it. So I developed a set of schematics, or blueprints rather, there we go again, that are basically set up for just inside of our fenced in areas. There are none of that stuff. They're just straight rails. We can go ahead and put in signal lights and everything else afterwards, but all we're putting down right now is just straight rails. So that way we can kind of determine our final layout for this ore depot. Once we get our straight rails running through, we're going to leave this for now because we need that iron. But after we get our rails run, this will all get ripped out and it'll get rerouted properly, and we'll put stations in and everything else. So let's just, for right now, get ourselves across the base. Excuse me. So first thing we're going to do is what I've been looking at, and I decided, sorry about the blinky blinkies, guys. If we come here, jog up slightly and straight across, I think that's going to run real nice up into here. And then from there we can run our normal rail up here. It takes us right past our iron deposit, and we can head on up here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, this portion right here, we're going to fill it in with landfill, just to give ourselves enough room to get by, because I'm going to try and go right between the roboports. No sense messing up my roboport grid if I don't have to. So I'm going to try and go right between the roboports and then head right straight up from there. So so let's go ahead and fill in this lake real quick, or not the whole thing, but enough of it that we can work, right? So here we go. Sorry about the brappity noise there. Now we don't want to take forever on this because we've just opened up our wall. But I think we've got time. We've got, we got no biters local. I think we'll be just fine. So again, like I say, I want to try and stay between these two roboports here and here. So let's take a looky-loo at what we've got for our blueprints. First thing we want to do is we want to look at just one of these, because we're going to need an incoming here we go. We're going to need an incoming section that's going to attach to the wall, right? Because we know we're coming into the wall, we're going to attach to the wall, and then we're going to go from there. So this will give us an idea of how far up we need to go, because like I say, we want to stay between those two ports. So there's the middle of it. So that's going to give us an idea of where we want to go. So we're going to have to fill in up to about here, right? That way we'll be able to build our wall across. And I mean, if we're going to be filling in, we might as well set ourselves up for success by making a flat spot right across where we can just run the wall up to the flat spot and not have to worry about trying to angle it or anything else, right? So there we go. That's got us there. So now, where was that blueprint? Okay, so this right here is our transition. This will transition us from this with the rail spacing with this, right? And let's put this down. The only thing we don't have, well, it's in the construction area though. They're going to bring the stuff down. If we put it here, right, and we get it lined up centered. All right, so like looks like 2 up on the wall from there, right? So now if we grab this one, this is our transit. Nope, that's the wrong one. It's the larger of the two. That's a small one. Should have labeled it. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's that one. This is just the rail this is just the rails. So the spacing and everything is proper with it. So if we do this and we get her lined up between our robo ports, that should pretty much center us up on the wall, right? And that will allow us to transition down to our internal rail gauge. So we're going to go ahead and hit spacebar and let the robots lay that down. Right. Now there are a few things that are in the way. We got a radar site there. We got some poles. We're going to have some pipes that we're going to have to contend with at some point. But let's go ahead and now that we've got that, let's close our wall back up. At least temporarily. And we may not have enough to go the whole way. We'll see. There we go. We do. All right. So now let's take a looky-loo at this and see if that's going to line up for us. And it looks like it is. Awesome. So there we go. So now we can just we'll put our first section right up against the wall and head on out and be able to just tie into that wall and be good to go. So we can get rid of that now and start working on getting our rails laid internally here. So let's go ahead and move this radar. We still want the radar there, but because I want the full radar coverage for the base. I don't want to have any gaps, but we'll get it out of our way for running our rails, right? So there's that. Let's move this pole. There we go there. Right? So there's everything right up to our wall. And we'll worry about connecting that in later. So this is what's going to allow us to run through our base though. Is this rail width. So let's go ahead and grab our straight rail. and we're just going to start running this over. Now there are going to be some places where it's not going to fit because we got poles and what have you. That we'll have to move. And the nice thing is though that sugar, they're inside the base. We can get them moved pretty easily, what have you. So now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to at some point jog a little bit to the south. So let's go over here. Not get hit by a train. Although we do got to try now that we got our armor and our force fields. To see just what kind of damage that's going to do to us. Is it this one? Nope, it's the other one. Okay. Got two sizes of this. Like I say, I should have labeled it, but I didn't. All right. So that's going to tell us where our rails are going to hook up, right? Now I don't want to confuse this thing too much, but we're going to go ahead and put these down because it should route to where it needs to go anyway. We may have some signal issues, but we'll deal with it, right? So we got a little. It'll probably be a little confused for a little bit, but that's going to give us our rail spacing for bringing out the lines that we're actually using. And again, there are no walls to this. We'll probably go back and put crossings in at some point. You know, there's things like lights and stuff like that that we are going to have to deal with. And to start off, I'm just running it to where it needs to go. We will go back and put in crossovers and things like that afterwards. Because there aren't, I do want to put at least the ability for one lane change within the base, so that we can, you know, if we need to, we can change lanes at least once. So we're going to bring this all the way past here just for convenience sake, and then we're going to dogleg it. Come on, mister. I know, lone robot. Come on, why aren't you charged up? Did you have to go so far? Poor thing. Alright, so that's got us past there. So now we're out of the involvement of this train until such a time as we can start making our drop-off depot and what have you. So now we're going to have to go up how many? Let's see. 1, 2 rows of roboports. So this row, we want to be in this row. Is that the right row? Of roboports. Yep, that's the right row. Alright, so, and of course we want to try and do it before we get to here because we don't want to involve all of that mess. So let's see our dog leg. And okay, so we got to flip this one. Oops. We're not flipping it the right. There we go. Flip it that way. So let's go past the roboport, just past the roboport. Right there. And whoops. And we'll throw down our straight. Now, I don't believe, I bet I probably didn't. We can put them up out of our way. We can put that up out of our way. We're done with that. Put that up out of our way. Walls and lights can go up out of our way for now. I don't believe I made a diagonal one, although I could be wrong. I did not. Alright, well, I did not hit her. I didn't. So, what we can do is we can just lay this down. Get a blueprint and make ourselves a quick diagonal. It ain't gonna be pretty, but it will work. So now let's get rid of the one we dropped. Hopefully, okay, that's, no, we don't want to get rid of the concrete. Oh well, crap. I just want to get rid of the rails. It's the whole point of putting the concrete, guys. Oh well. I guess you're going to be ignorant. Fine. We'll have to go back and lay down concrete again anyway to make sure, just to verify our concrete. So life is life. So shift, shift, shift. Right. Okay. So let's go ahead and attach the pieces that didn't attach. Beep beep. There's that one. This one I know we got a pole in the way. We'll move the pole. There's your poles moved. Now we'll have to be careful. There's no reason for the train to have to come this way right now. But it would really suck if the train decided to route itself in this direction. But it can't go past this anyway, so we're okay. Alright, so that brings us up into this one. We got one more to go up into. Are we going to miss that RoboPort? I think we're going to miss that RoboPort. Awesome sauce. Miss all but one pole too. Alright, well, we're doing good though. Alright, so we're up here into this lane. So now let's go back to bringing this over so we got an idea of where the two of them meet. So let's see our straight track. There's our straight track. We got a pipe there, I think. Yeah, we got a couple of places where we got a cross pipe, and we'll just maneuver the pipe between the rails properly. Alright, I don't want to get no closer because I want to make that dog leg back. So let's looks like right there. Well, hopefully it's right there. We'll see. Did we make it? Yes, we did. Alright, we'll fix up the ones that we need to fix up. Pole. What I ought to be doing is just putting a substation down to bridge the gap. We need to go back and put substations down eventually anyway, but for now, just doing this. There we go. So let's hook this one back up. And then there was one down here, wasn't there? I don't see anything flashing. Let's take a look at our map. Yeah, I think we're all right. I think we got that all hooked back up. Good enough. All right. So now we need to belt some stuff here. Do we have? Yes, we do. All right. So we want to go. Oh, and you know what? Let's get rid of this. It's in our way too. There we go. So now we can go one more with that, can't we? Give us an idea of where it's going. So, if we go here, how far can we go? Not far enough. Helps to put them in the right direction too. Up. 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 How's that look? It look about right? We'll see. That one's okay. That one's going to be okay. And I think that one's going to be okay. So now, let's do the same thing over here. Only on this side, we're going through the straight bits. So now, if we get rid of this, we went the wrong direction with it though, because that one's going down, not up. All right, so oops. Yeah. Right, right. And then we just gotta go. Oh hell. There we go. Let's not be stupid. Well, right? Alright, now we're all the way past that. Now let's deal with our pole. Right, that pole's hooked in now. That pole is hooked in. There we go. Now let's put our tracks down, see if our tracks reach. No, that pole's in the wrong place. There, how about that? Right, right, okay. So now, Let's go ahead and pick up our junk and see if we can't get that dog leg in there now. See what's holding us up. Alright, so it looks like we got a pole that we got to move. Get rid of you. Where'd we put it? I'll put it somewhere. There it is. Right? And, oh, underground belt. Alright. Fine. Get down a little further with you. There. Now we won't have no problems with you. We shouldn't. Right? Looks good. Everything looks okay. There we go. That's hooked up. Let's go down here, take care of the rest of this stuff. So we got a power pole, and that was a big pole, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a big pole. So if we put the big pole up by one, now we can, I do believe it's going upwards. See how far we can stretch it. We can't go past there, but by God, we can go there and then go right there. Right? Almost like I planned it. Weird how that works. Right? Right. Alright. So let's go down further. Alright, so here's where we get fun with pipes. Although we should be just fine if we do here, 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 and here. Right? Right. So that's all hooked up now. Should be. We want railroads, not belts. Thank you very much. We'll get rid of this pipe. So that should all be hooked up now. Yep, it's all hooked up. Let's go down here. Yes. Yes. All right. We're cooking with gas, man. We are doing well. Looks like we are doing well. Looking for looking for brakes. And we got one right here. Too bad we can't do train tunnels. That'd be kind of cool. Boom. Right, right. Right, right. Okay. So now, make sure we don't get run over. Get rid of this light. Alright, we're going to have to shut down rail service for a little bit, guys. And here's what we are going to do. we're going to be slick about it. We're going to change this. If we can get to it without getting run over by a train. And if G equals 0, closed condition. And we'll do the same thing here. Copy. Try not to get run over doing it. Paste. Paste. Oops, it's on the other side on this one. Paste. So now technically what we've done is we've just kind of switched it to where if the gate is open, it's green to go. If the gates are closed, then it closes off the rail. And hopefully, by doing that, we'll let that train go through. By doing that, all the trains should stop right here, and they should not come bother us whilst we're working on this right here. So now we can rip all of this out. Well, we can rip the stuff out that we're not using, which is this, and this, and this, and this. Right, there's that one. Oops. Alright, well, we'll tear that one out. So what we'll do is we'll put the blueprint back down and let it build it properly. What is in our way here? Oh, this. Come on, pick up the pole. Alright, fine. Now will you pick up the pole? Alright, now will you put it down right? Does that go over there? That goes there. There we go. So now we're hooked up to the rails we want to be hooked up to. So now let's get rid of the rails we don't want. Yeah, I know, we're going to be picking up concrete and everything else. We're actually not picking up concrete. We're picking up the concrete that hasn't been laid yet. So it's just the idea of the concrete is basically what we're picking up. Not really the concrete, but the idea of it. Why didn't you guys pick that up? Oh, because we're inside the construction zone. Something else is picking it up. Fine. Something else go pick it up then. Whatever. Make yourself happy. Knock yourself out. Alright, so whatever's going to pick that up is going to pick it up. So now, let's reconnect this. Yeah, no path. I know. I'm working on it. I'm one person. I got two hands, okay? So now this is going to come down here and hook into there. And that's, again, temporary in order to... And yeah, we're going to take that pole out. Alright, fine. Take the pole out. This is just temporary to get us back going. Alright? You go that way. Now while you're gone, let me have some lights. Put a here, here and here, right? We don't really need one here and here, but we did take lights out over here though. So just temporary. We'll go back and fix later where these lights probably ought to be. But in the interim, because we had this all broke up so that all these trains would stack one right after the other real nice. So that'll be that. That'll come down there. That's the signal for that. We're not letting them on this rail. They'll go down to the circle and get on that rail if they need to. So let's fix this other side of this path. Take the light, not the concrete. Damn ya. Alright. So now we got to take out this. Right? Because this is what's going to come up there onto that. So now let's do something here. Since we have the opportunity to do it, let's split these up. Let's split them up. And what we're going to do is we're going to have this one come in from that rail. And we're going to have this one. Oh, yeah. All right. We should be able to move that RoboPort with no problem. Why is it not letting me do it? Oh, because, okay, it's not a schematic or a blueprint. All right, you know what? Fine. We'll do this. We'll go past the RoboPort. F you. And then we'll hook up. No, we won't. We didn't go far enough. We got to go one further. Let's try it from here. Okay, there's the RoboPort. There's not the RoboPort. Ha! So there. Pride goeth before the fall, as they say. All right, so lights. Oh, you know what? We're idiots. Wrong rails. Wrong rails entirely. I'm glad I caught that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how train crashes happen. All right, there we go. So now that'll go up to that one, that'll go up to that one. Signals. So we're going to signal this one here, and I guess we'll signal it here. and we'll call that a block, and we'll signal this one here, and it's signaled there already, and then we'll signal both of them afterwards, right? And then those both come up and meet up and go back that way. Do we need to have signals here to keep this from hitting that? I think we do. So if we signal here, there, oh, see, that's an ambiguous signal. I guess we don't need a signal there because that's the block. That whole thing is the block. So then we would still need signals on this side though, I think, right? To disallow them to come into that block and then allow them to come out of it. I think that's the deal. There we go. And then we got to finish this section of track. So that's all of the incoming, and that makes this a block. Right? Right. That makes that a block. So that should be good to go. And this is going to come up here. This is going to be our supply station for building our railroads. So we'll be able to call from there, and we'll have it all set up to fill that up. This is going to be our... Alright, so now let's go fix our gates. Because our trains should be waiting at our gates. Let's let our trains through. Go, my pretties. Bring stuff to us. There we go. So now we need to correct this to be greater than 1 or greater than 0, and then copy it to all the signals. And then quickly get out of the way of the train. Right? So now let's see. Green, red. Green, red. Green, red. Green, red. Green. No. Why is that one red? That one's wrong. Oh, because that was not the one we copied from. It was the other one. Right? There we go. Alright, now we got them all. Gates are open, red. Gates are closed, green. Woohoo! Nee, 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 nee. Alright. So that gets us through our base. Right? Right. So now, what do we want to add to this? We probably want to add one crossover somewhere in this, because we're probably going to have some depots in here. We're probably going to have some rail sidings in here. So maybe we want to have a crossover. So let's look at our crossover and see where it fits. So does that fit right there? That sort of fits right there, I think. If we move it up one, it's not going to fit because there's the pipes. So if we put in our crossover right here, and right here, no, it won't. So we'll have to offset it, which is cool. That's why I made them individually, because then we can take out this middle piece. Oops, wrong one. Put our piece of rail back in. Oops. With the correct arrow. Dang it. Oh, because it started to save before I got it down. Alright, fine. Right, so there we go. So now we got a crossover in that it can switch lanes if it needs to. And we'll put one down here as well after our train stations. Look, and our signals are working and everything. Because they can't go through because these guys are in that block. Right? But these guys, no, these guys can't go through either. So, yeah, we're going to have to do some adjusting because if this is sitting here, he can't go through here. So we're going to have to do some playing with this, but okay. Well, now we know. Where was our crossover? There's our crossover. So let's put our crossover in this section right here. Right? Will that fit? That will fit right there. And it'll fit beautiful. Awesome! Get rid of these center sections again. Right? We still want the straights because then it'll go straight if it doesn't need to cross over. Oops. There we go. So now, here's the thing. We could put lights for all of these crosses and this and that and the other, but this is a pretty short piece of track. So if we were to do it this way, right? So that's that direction. So there's that. If we do here, and then we do, let's do back a little bit, just to give it some room. No, we don't need to. And we do here, and then we do here, and here. This whole crossover becomes a block. And it simplifies the signaling because anything in this block will stop it, anything in this block will stop it, and then it'll go on about its business. So let's do the same thing up here. And I'm hoping that's right. I'm still kind of getting a handle on the whole train signal thing. Excuse me, I'm starting to understand it a bit more as time goes on. So I'm thinking I got it right. Oops. Let's put it one more forward so we can just line them all up. Now, one thing that's going to be interesting, I got something coming up that is really going to make life interesting, I guess, if you will, here shortly. There is a mod that I'm going to be putting in that's going to make trains and stops and signals and stuff kind of interesting. All right, so there we go. I think. So let's do this. Do we have a train? We have a train and we have fuel. Let's put down our train. Okay, let's do this first. Let's go over here. And this is why I want the concrete down, man. So much faster running on concrete. And since this is our base, I want to be able to run around on the concrete. All right. So let's do this for shits and giggles. Right. Okay. Let's try this just for shits and giggles. What we're going to do is we're just going to loop these. Right? Yeah, that's a nice loop. It works. That's all we wanted to do. We wanted to loop it. Yeah, okay. So, you know what? Let's put Mr. Laser down here. Did we have any more Mr. Laser? No, we'll have to come down and fill this wall. I'll do that off camera. So let's do this, just for fun. Let's take a train stop. And we'll put the train stop right here. And we're going to call this train stop. What are we going to call it? We're going to call it construction. Because this is the direction we're going next. Right? Because we're going to come out here and we're going to go on out and we're going to hook up to that ore deposit out there, what have you. So now we got that. Let's go over here and let's test it. Let's see if this works adequately. Let's get up here on the concrete. We can run faster. Down here. Let's grab our train. And all we really need is the engine. We don't need the rest of it, right? So we're going to tell it, we're going to add a station, and it's going to be low supplies, which is where we're at right now. And let's give it a time passed, and we'll give it 15 seconds. That ought to give us enough time to get on the train and off the train and what have you. Alright, and then we're going to add a second one, and we're going to go construction, and we're going to say time passed, and we'll do 30 seconds, right? So let's get on the train, and then let's fuel this puppy up. And schedule automatic. So give her 15 seconds here, and we'll see if it works. So it's going to go down to that circle to turn around. Now when it comes back, yep, okay, because there's not enough trains there blocking it. And then we'll be able to unload and what have you, and make some more track. All right, come on. Probably could have gotten away without 30 seconds. Probably could have. Let's go to our next one. All right, so we come down here. Whee! That was odd. Spin the Louie. Take us up to supplies. And there we go. Awesome! It works. All right. We are good to go, guys. So let's snatch up our train there. All right, so there we go. We now have 2 working rail routes. One of them being a temporary route, and then this, of course, like I say, we are going to add more stops into this. Now that we've got it going, we'll probably add 2, maybe 3 more unload points so that we can keep our ore going nice here. And we may even add the ability to marry into it from this side, so that anything coming from that side, because we got that one coming, is not going to have to go all the way down to that circle and then up. We'll probably come across and Y it right here so that it goes right into these, or Y it down a little further maybe, to take into account the extra ones. But that's next time around. For now, we are good to hook. All right, guys. So I hope you got something out of that. I'm gonna go back and put lasers on those walls and stuff. You know, mash that like button. Give me a comment or 2 if you want, and I will see you later.